Suck on that, Henry. Troll-ass mother humper.
The Chiefs thought they were a dynasty, but the truth is, they were just a stepping stone for the real one. And now, they must bend the knee. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here, and welcome to the Victory Celebration Room, better known as my garage, where we come out to smoke a stogie every time the Eagles win. Now, we can't smoke in the house, because if we do, the wife will double moonwalk my ass, and then you'll find me in the gutter in my own blood and urine. So, no. We come out here when the Eagles win, and we smoke one of these bad boys and enjoy the win. And guess what? Get ready, because there's a whole bunch coming. The Eagles are 2-0. Most of the world said it wouldn't happen, but we're already there. And it's only going to get better from here. Now, as always, every time I smoke one of these stogies, we offer it to somebody who we thought deserve it. We offer a cigar. Tonight, I'm not doing multiple people. Hell no. I'm doing one person. One person that I think changed the mother humping game. And that is Andrew Makuba Matata. That's right. Makuba is the man. Matter of fact, when I'm done here, I plan on making babies tonight. And I'm going to name them Makuba A and Makuba B. That's right. 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? They're all going to be named Makuba because that safety is a badass. Now, we've got a lot to talk about, but without further ado, let's light this bad boy up the only way we know how. Another team destroyed. Oh, it tastes so good when it touches your lips. That's right, it does. Oh, this is a good one. We deserve this one, no doubt about it. Because today, it was a hell of a day of football. I ain't gonna lie. But I think we learned a lot. I think we learned a lot about the Eagles, and I think we learned a lot about the division. What the hell? Somebody's opening the garage? Anyways, I thought the Eagles, who, let's be honest, they didn't play their best game. I'm not going to sit there and tell you they played their best game or they're hitting on all cylinders. They didn't. They've got a lot of things to work on. There's a lot of things we can talk about in detail, but not in this video. In this video, we focus on the positives. We focus on the win. We enjoy it. We eat it up. We go make the babies. You know what I mean? My wife, she's there. She's like, I'm a little tired tonight. I just walk in like this. White rerun. And I said to her, hey, yo, baby, this body was made to give you pleasure. That's right. And it always works. It always works. Now, here's what I'll say about the Eagles in today's win. We didn't play 100%. We didn't play as good as we can. But we still win. 99.9% of the teams in this league right now are shaking. They're pissing in their boots. All right? They're scared because they see an Eagles team that has flaws, that have things they have to work out, and are still winning. We just went into the Kansas City Chiefs, the great Patrick Mahomes, and we took him in his stadium at their Super Bowl loss they had to us. And we shut him down. We shut him down. Shut him down. Okay? 17 points. He was lucky to get that. This Eagles team's a good team. And in all seriousness, this offense It's got work to do. Nobody's disputing it. Nobody's going to dispute that. They do. We got to fix some things that are out of sync right now. However, that defense is way ahead of schedule. Okay, I thought that defense would take a while, maybe 8-9 weeks to get going. And what I'm seeing from them, no, they're way ahead of schedule. And the addition of having Jalen Carter back in the lineup and adding Zadarius Smith, who played fantastic, all of a sudden, that defensive line is different. Once again, the Eagles have two rookies, Jahad Campbell and Andrew Makuba, who are making plays, who are out there playing and affecting this team. Not many teams can say they've had as many players in the course of a 4-year window that we have, who have been drafted and played and been a huge contributor. Last year, Q and Cooper DeJean. This year, Jahad and Andrew Makuba. And I see the sky is the limit for this defense. I heard a lot of people going, well, maybe they'll be like 15th ranked defense this year because of all the losses. Nah, we're going to be up in the top 5 again. And we're one of the youngest defenses. There's nothing but excitement with that defense. And I think Andrew Makuba's, look, his play, his interception in the end zone was the game. Changed the game. If the Chiefs score there, who knows where this game goes, how it ends up. But he didn't. He picked it off, almost took it to the house, and that's all she wrote. Andrew Makuba, what a great start. He's got to stay healthy. Of course, he's got to get a little stronger. He can't have Patrick Mahomes truck over you, but he'll get there. I really like the kid, and I really like Campbell. Really, really good. I like what his defense is, minus Adoree Jackson. I still think that's a problem, but we know how to fix that, you know? And they're only going to get better. I think Jalen Carter looked a little rusty. I think Jordan Davis, another fantastic game. And Jordan Davis had a sack taken away from him. He should have had 2 sacks. He should have 3 sacks on the year. But Jordan Davis is playing like a man. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I'm going to lose my eggnog partner this year because he ain't going to be drinking any. Defense was awesome. Man. Ooh. You know what's weird? You know what I notice? Like, some of these, like, when you get older, like, you start to fall awkward. You ever see an old guy fall? Right? I was watching Aaron Rodgers, and when he's going to get sacked or hit, it's like, it looks all conjointed. You know, he goes down. And it's like, man, why does he fall like that? You know, and it's like, he's older, and when he was younger, he would like fall into it, get up, and be fine. And I thought it was always weird. And then the other day I was walking my room, and I'm walking by a wall that has a giant window, and I tripped over my big ass feet. And so as I trip, I looked up at myself, and I was watching myself fall, and I'm all like this. You know, and I'm like, why do I look so awkward falling? I wonder why old people look so awkward falling. The only thing I can think of is, like, you know it's going to hurt a lot more, and you're bracing for it. Because I remember as I was falling going, damn, Denzel Washington's falling on the ground. But this is going to hurt. This is really going to hurt. You know, because when you're younger, man, you know, you just fall. You do little flips and stuff, no problem. But now I'm watching myself fall, and I'm all like contorted. You know, it's weird. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. I think old people, they can't handle falling. It looks all weird. If you notice, watch an old person fall where like Aaron Rodgers get hit. It looks awkward. I don't know. I just noticed it. Why do I bring it up? I have no idea. But that's what these videos are, right? It's just a streamline of consciousness after a win. And a win it was. Now look, I know the talk is Patullo. Here's my thoughts on it. Do I like what I saw from him so far? No. I do not like what I saw from him in 2 weeks. I don't think anybody does. However, I think we got to give it more time. I just do. I think we got to give it at least a month, maybe 5 games. After that, if it's the same stuff going on, I'm gonna be pissed off. But it feels like to me, and I haven't seen the all 22. Okay, the few plays that they did show where you could see the receivers in it, everybody was covered. Everybody was covered. Now, I'm not saying Jalen didn't miss open receivers or things like that. I'm not saying it. I'm sure he did. I'm sure there's times. I mean, nobody's perfect. But my sense is that the Eagles haven't adjusted to the adjustments of the NFL, right? We know in the NFL, they go out, they watch the teams, they watch tapes. You know they're all looking at how to beat the Eagles, how to stop Barkley, how to play Jalen Hurts, how to play that offense. And it almost feels like to me that Patullo and Sirianni are saying, all right, let's go out the first few weeks and let's see what the defense is. Not just one game, because it's got to be more than 1 game or 2 games, but let's see what these defenses are doing to us and how they're playing us, and then we will adjust accordingly, okay? And that's where the Eagles are at right now. That's what they have to do. That's why I'm not overreacting to the Patullo thing. Sure, I get frustrated with the offense at times, but I'm not going to overreact because I feel like that's what's going on. And they will make the adjustments when it comes time. And if they don't, then we'll be searching for a new offensive coordinator next year. But I think you got to give them time. I do. I mean, our offense wasn't superior the first 4 weeks last year. There was a lot of flaws, a lot of adjustments that had to be made. And I think the Eagles will do that when the time comes. In the meantime, the Eagles don't turn the ball over. You don't turn the ball over, you're going to win games. You can say whatever you want about Jalen Hurts on throwing up, they don't do this, that. Say whatever, they can say whatever they want, but you don't turn the ball over. You know who turns the ball over? Dak Prescott. That guy should have 8 or 9 interceptions this year. Somehow, he's only got 1. How the hell is that even possible? Let me tell you this, and Giant fans out there, I want you to hear this, because I mean this. You were ripped off today. You were ripped off. I'm not saying your team was perfect. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have, had any penalties. They deserve penalties. They made penalties. But was like 14 penalties, 160 plus yards? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It was ridiculous. And some of those calls were so bad. And if you look at Dallas, and in the both games that they've played, most of their points come off of penalties that continue a drive, that give them chunk yardage. In the Eagles game and in the Giants game, I thought it was ridiculous. And Dak Prescott, I don't know how everybody drops his interceptions. CD Lamb drops his balls, and the other teams drop his balls. Okay? The guy is lucky. Right now, the luckiest team in the league that has had every break in game has been the Cowboys. They've gotten every single break that you possibly could have. Nobody gets 14 penalties, 160 plus yards. And then when they do call penalties on Dallas, go back and watch the first two games, 90% of them are on special teams when it's half the distance. Or what they do is, if let's say Dallas has a penalty, they'll throw a flag on the Giants or the Eagles, and then they'll make it offsetting. What is that? Oh, look at that. That's a big bright light. You see it up there in the sky? I don't know if you can see it. I think it's blinking. That's a plane or a helicopter. It's not a UFO. But we got interesting things happening this year. This whole thing about something's on its way. You hear about this? Some giant thing. They don't know. They said it's not an asteroid or a comet or something. It's like maybe like a UFO or something, intelligence. and it's headed this way. And like by November, it's going to be here something. Yeah, we'll see. Something is crazy getting ready to happen. I mean, there's enough crazy things happening in the world already. But, expect a lot of UFOs this year. Now, like I said, I feel bad, Giants. I mean, they should have won that game. 25 seconds, and you can't stop Dallas from kicking a field goal or putting a field goal range. I understand why Adoree Jackson, though, plays the way he does. He plays the same way the Giants corners play. 15 yards back. They just give up yards. They don't even challenge. That's how he plays. He's got to go. Like, he's got to get benched and let Jacorian Bennett play. He really does, you know. Boy, I tell you, I like our defense a lot. I do. I think it's going to be really good, you know. Look, I thought to give up 17 points to the Chiefs, I mean, at home in Kansas City, yeah, I understand they have offensive problems. I understand all that. But they still got Patrick Mahomes, you know, and we, you know, it's funny because Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in the world. Now that the Eagles are beating him, it's like, oh, he's not that good. They were never that good. No, they're still the Chiefs. They still have Andy Reid. They still have Patrick Mahomes. And we went in there and we whooped their butts. And Jake Elliott, shout out to Jake Elliott. You know, they said that he was banged up last year, and he played through it for most of the year. And then you had the whole long snapper change and stuff. He looks great. 58-yard, 55-yard. He don't care. He's kicking everything. That's a really, really good sign. You know, it really is. It's still too hot out here. That's what I hate about the West Coast. It's too hot. There's no fall. You know, it don't feel cool at night. It feels hot. You know, so what are you gonna do? What is that, FedEx? It looks like the CIA. They got their little white van. They've been tapping my phones, tapping my house. I didn't do anything wrong. You know? Yeah, dude, that Cowboys game, those refs were so bad. Dude, Stevie Wonder even saw the penalties they weren't calling on Dallas. It's ridiculous. The league really wants Dallas to be competitive this year. And I think the fact that they traded Parsons is they're giving them even more special treatment, right? But Dallas is done. They're going to lose to Chicago this week. Chicago's 0-2. Chicago's a must-win. They're gonna win. I thought the Giants were gonna straight up win this game. I really did. And look, it was 5.5 points. They were 5.5 points under. I took it. I bet it. It was nice, easy win for me. Now, you know, we'll see. But you know, I thought, let's see, on defense, I thought Jihad Campbell and Makumba, I thought they were absolutely fantastic. I thought Carter looked a little rusty, a little winded. Who else? I thought Q was all right. I got to go back and look at that touchdown at the end and see if that was on him or if that was somebody else. I'll wait for the all-22. And then I thought Cooper DeJean, I thought for the most part he was okay. I thought a couple times he got abused by Travis Kelce. The one thing I like about Cooper DeJean, and I'm convinced this is one of the reasons they're keeping him in the slot, he tackles in the open field. He doesn't miss tackles in the open field. I think that's important, man. I think that's important. I thought Bond was really good. I thought he was all over the place. And I like to see the Eagles blitz a little more, you know. I'm actually, in a weird way, I'm excited about this defense because I'm thinking the youngest defense in the league. And they're already playing like miles ahead of where I thought they would be. And yeah, the offense has got to fix it, but they're too talented not to. You know, and that's why I say this league's shaking in their boots. They're shaking in their boots. Why? Because once the Eagles get it going, nobody can beat them. Teams can't beat them when they're not even playing to their capabilities, you know? It's true. yeah, I still haven't bought Madden yet. I need to buy the hard copy. So, but I don't want to open it. So I don't know if I'll ever play it or not. But here's what I think. Everybody always tells you every year, they're like, oh, it's better this year, it's better this year. But then you stop hearing people talking about it, like after a week. That's how you know it's not that good. If it was really good, they keep talking about it, you keep seeing it because people are having fun. I don't see anybody talking about it. They need to build that game from the bottom down, but they really need to allow other companies that make games to have the license for the NFL. The game would improve tenfold. All right, the football games would be awesome, but EA's had it easy, and believe me, I know all about easy for EA. I know what they do. Me and EA's we've had run-ins. All right, now you're saying, what are you talking about? NHL hockey. Yeah, I don't care what they say. I gave them one of the great ideas of all time. I can prove it. Now, this week we're going to hear a lot about Patullo. All right? All I can say is you have every right to be frustrated, to say what you have to say. But you got to give it at least 5-6 weeks. And then after 5-6 weeks, I will be on here telling you, yeah, he's a problem, okay? The other thing is you're going to have to deal with Cowboys and their beflamigation of their Cowboys team because now they think there's something again. Here's how you know the difference between a fan base that knows how to win and a fan base that doesn't. The Cowboys win, they look horrible. I mean, they really look bad. And all of a sudden, Cowboy fans are coming in my stream. I'm seeing people like 5 Rings and all these guys come in to my stream. I haven't seen them since the Super Bowl. They coming in bragging about their Cowboys, right? Even after we beat them last week. And they're bragging and bragging. It's like, dude, the Giants should have beat you. They outplayed you the whole game. It should have been 34-0 at halftime. All right? Giants stink. They're bad. Sorry, Giant fans. However, they act like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. What do Eagle fans do? We're sitting there winning the game, and I'm answering questions about how Patullo stinks. And then Patullo, we got problems, and we're in this shape, or we're in that shape. That's the difference between winners and losers of fan bases. Because the people who know how to win, they know it's not good enough. And they're holding their team up to a standard. While the Cowboy fans, they're all happy. Ooh, 37 points. You let the Giants score 37 points. And Giants don't even coach a good game. Russell Wilson could have had 700 yards throwing if they just would let him. Dallas wasn't going to stop him. That's the other thing I learned this weekend with football. The Eagles are the cream of the crop in the NFCs. It's not even close. They're so much better than these other teams. Really, the Giants and Dallas will probably be third and fourth. I don't know which order, okay, because I'm not so sure Dallas is much better than the Giants. But I think Washington really screwed themselves. I do. You look at them and you look at them versus Green Bay, right? I think Jane Daniels is a good quarterback. I'm not going to sit there and say he's not. I think he is. Is he perfect? No. Is he learning? Yeah. Is he getting looks now and certain things? It's going to be a little harder for him? Yeah. But he'll have to adjust, just like Patullo. You got to adjust to the adjustment. That's how you know somebody is great or good. When they can adjust and continue. All right? And the Eagles will do that. And Jane Daniels got to do that too. But their problem is they're old. They're too old. I mean, they're already having crazy amount of injuries because they got older guys. They made a huge mistake trying to get an older roster in there, maybe to get a little discount on price, whatever it is. They're not going to make it through the year. So the Eagles are going to run away with this division. Cowboys will probably maybe finish third, maybe fourth. Giants really aren't that far behind them. And we'll see. It's interesting. The Eagles are far above them. And the Eagles, look, we got a hell of a game this week. This game versus the Rams, I consider it like one of the bigger games you'll ever see early in the season. Because this could have all sorts of tie-breaking implications. Rams are going to win their division. Eagles are going to win their division. Where's the home field advantage going to be if they play? Well, whoever wins head-to-head is most likely going to have that advantage. The Eagles need to win this game. Just like when they play the Packers. It's a big game. And to me, the Eagles, they don't have to be perfect next week, but they got to get that running game going against Green Bay. Green Bay. Well, that's for later in the year. They got to get their running game against the Rams. You can beat the Rams with the run. They can run on the Rams, and the Rams can't stop it. I'm convinced. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments they make. Man, what a day. What a day. It almost sounded like I said, what a gay, but I did. I said, what a day. Pause. No diddy. Yeah, too hot out here. Like another month and a half, it'll get cool. You know what I mean? Come out, you can see your breath. It's dark. I love it. I love it. You know, I had to wait a little bit to do my video because everybody don't like when I do it in the daylight. They like it at night. So, you know, I like it, you know, when they change the clock and it's 4:30 and I can just come out here and do it. Now I had to wait. Man, I can't wait till Christmas. I love Christmas. You know, it sucks, man. I look up every once in a while, all right, like, what Christmas movies are coming out? And I'm looking for, like, you know, like, I don't know, new Christmas movies I might like. Now they're all, like, these, like, violent horror Christmas movies. And some of them are all right. Some of them I don't like. But now they're all doing it. I kind of don't like it. Like, I liked Fat Man was great, right? There was another one I watched. I forget the name of it. It was good. But, like, you know, they all want to be Die Hard, but they're not Die Hard. Which Die Hard is, yes, a Christmas movie and not a Christmas movie. My daughter keeps asking me, are you going to get the PlayStation Pro? Are you going to get the PlayStation 5 Pro? I'm like, no. I got the PlayStation 5. That's good enough. And then what? In a year, 2 years, I got to buy the 6? I'll just wait for the PlayStation 6 to come out. Ooh, what's that? See that, mother humper? I think that's a plane, too. They usually take that route. But every once in a while, you see some weird things. It's crazy. Crazy mother humpers. Yeah, the Eagles, we're good. We're going to be good this year, you know. And look, if we let's say you beat the Rams. If you beat the Rams, you're 3-0. That's in our sights now. Now, if you're 3-0, then you play Tampa. Let's say you fall to Tampa just for argument's sake, right? Because you always do. You're 4-1. You're 3-1. Okay, most people didn't have the Eagles 3-1. I heard a lot of people saying 2-2. Okay, you're 3-1 with those 4 games. Because look, it's going to be, I think, easier down the stretch than early on. And if we're starting to win these games early, it's a big deal. Now, I want to address this too because people keep saying we're like the 2023 Eagles. I'm like, no, this isn't the 2023 Eagles. Yes, the offense has been stagnant. That may be similar, but that's not going to last. But secondly, the big difference between that 2023 team and now, the defense. The defense, if you remember 2023, well, like, not 2020, yeah, 2020, yeah, 2023. The defense wasn't all that great. It was the offense that Hurts bailing them out early in the year, and then when the offense couldn't keep doing it, it just snowballed out of control. This defense is legit, and it's good. I mean, this is the youngest defense in the league, and these guys are playing. Look at all the young guys playing. You know, Carter Davis, 3 years in, something like that. Nolan Smith, 3 years in. Jalix Hunt, 2nd year in. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, 2 years in. Jahad Campbell, Andrew Makumba, rookies. I mean, it's insane the amount of talent this defense has. And Zadarius Smith is such a good signing. I mean, I didn't know what he was going to have left, but he already showed you in one quarter that he's way better than Robert Quinn was when he came to Philly. Okay? This kid, not a kid, he's a man. But, you know, this vet, he he's going to be a big factor for us. Not only that, but that veteran presence is very, very important. And I thought, like I said, I thought Carter was a little rusty early, but I thought in the second half, late in the fourth quarter, I thought he started playing good. He started, tagging Mahomes a little bit. I'm very happy with the defense, to be honest. I'm happy with the special teams. The running game, I think it's too predictable right now. I think they need to run a little different. It was like the only adjustment the Eagles made at halftime on offense was they came out and ran 3 straight plays under center. As soon as they start running Hurts under center, it's like 8 yards a carry. And not one time did they ever say, all right, we just ran the ball 3 consecutive times really good. Look, we're going to set up at some point the play action bomb. We're going to set it up. They don't run play action. I don't get it. I don't even think they're running as many read options. It's like, you got to get back to some of the things that work for you. And that play action is there. There was one point where they hand off to Barkley. Everybody follows him. Everybody goes left. Now, if Hurts would have just took that back, turned, and rolled out and ran to his left, there's open space. Open space. When they're blitzing and they're bringing everybody, and you're looking and you see all the routes are deep. They all look deep. And they're all running deep routes and they're all covered. Like, if you would just have Barkley, just slip out during that blitz and Hurts just throw a little screen, delayed screen, there's nothing but 20 yards of daylight in front of them. They didn't do anything like that. They didn't make any adjustments like that. That's what they got to do. But I really think, in all honesty, I just think they're waiting. I think they're waiting over the next 3-4 games. They're waiting to get filmed to see what teams do, and they're going to make the adjustments. They did it last year. They're going to do it this year. I hope. And if they don't, then we got problems with the offensive coordinator. But they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And you guys saw the whole thing with Chris Jones, right? He's yelling at Hurts, we're going to get ready to kneel. You didn't have 100 yards throwing, something like that. And Hurts said, shut up your ass. We won the effing game. And right there is why I love Jalen Hurts. He only cared about winning. Didn't care about the stats. Didn't care about this or that or the other. He wants to win. That is not like every other quarterback in the league. I would say maybe 2 quarterbacks are like that besides him. Mahomes, I think, is like that. Mahomes will do what he has to do to win. Look at the way he started taking off running. He said he doesn't like to run early or during the season because, too much of a risk. But in the playoffs, he'll do it. Well, he did it because he had to win this game. I think Josh Allen would do it. I think, but I could tell you this. Jalen Hurts is a winner. And that's what he does. And that's the difference. That's going to be the difference. And this guy is going to go out and he's going to stack ring after ring after ring. And people are going to eventually have to bend the knee like the Kansas City Chiefs are now. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I got to go. I got to go make some babies. All right? We are making babies. 30, 60 seconds, somewhere around there. We're done. Ugh. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Oh, you're still here? I thought you guys would have left by now. That's all right. I'm just finishing up my cigar, checking out that light right there, seeing if it's got anything crazy going. First off, remember, if it's blinking, blink, 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 especially a red light, then it's not anything special. If it's a steady light or just hovering, yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And believe me, I've seen some weird things. Maybe not right here, but my old place, I don't know if you guys remember, I literally saw a gigantic triangle. It was Christmas Eve. I went out to the street to take a picture of the house with the Christmas lights. And I hear a hum. Like you ever, in Jersey they had all these like, and I'm sure they have it here too, but they used to have these like electric boxes, like, in front of people's homes, and you would walk by it and you could hear humming like, right? That's what this thing sounded like, and it was gigantic. It must have been a couple 100 feet above the house. It was low, and it was going by like this, just making a hum noise, and it was just kind of like floating like this, and it was just moving so smooth, and then it just shifted one way. So holy crap, it was probably, I don't know how big it was. I mean, I can't tell you how wide, but it looked like the wing was over my house, and it looked like the other side of the wing was down near this road, which is a way back. I mean, it looked big. I don't know how, like maybe 30 yards across, something like that. It was crazy big. I seen one of those, and then the other thing I saw once driving was when, after I just had got married, we had just had our first kid, and we were going to Vegas to my parents because they live there. And so we're driving, and we're like, when you go to Vegas and you start to get into the desert for California, it was just like this one-lane road on each side, and it's dark. And all of a sudden, my wife, we're driving, it's like 2 in the morning. She goes, "What is that?" And points like, towards my left. And I'm driving, and I look, and it's like this giant green ball with a tail. So I'm thinking, oh, that's a comet. Look that's a comet going across. It's going to hit. Where's it going? And it's coming really fast, and it's got a streak. And all of a sudden, as it gets near the road, which I was driving from west to east, it was coming from north to south. This thing slows down, almost to a stop, right over the street. And I'm looking at it, turns, and boom, 2 seconds gone. Couldn't see it. It just went. It went from north, stopped, and headed east. Gone. You tell me what the hell that was. I have no idea. But all of a sudden, I don't know, I was sitting there, and the next thing I know, I'm looking around, and I'm on this table, and there's these little gray buggy things all around the table, and they're like, got this big pole thing, and they're getting ready to shove it, in my pee hole, and I'm like, ah, 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 and then the next thing I know, I'm driving a car, and it's like 2 hours later. Psych! I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding about seeing the thing, but it just took off and we kept driving. The other part, I was just watching, what was the name of that show? Something on Fire, something on Fire. It's about this dude that was abducted in the woods for a couple days, and his friends found him, and they thought their friends killed him. I forget the name of it, but I was watching that. That's where I got that part from. But no, I did really see the thing. It was crazy. Anyways, I gotta get the hell out of here. Denzel Washington out. Now would be a great time to talk about our new sponsor, ProfitX. ProfitX is the ultimate sports prediction market. Join thrilling sweepstakes to make peer-to-peer plays with fellow fans. Set your own odds for bigger payouts. All legal in 40 states. Outsmart your friends. Elevate your game with ProfitX. All you got to do is use promo code Philly500 at the sign up to get up to $200 in ProfitX cash. That's $200 in ProfitX cash. All you have to do is use promo code Philly500. Must be of legal age. Void where prohibited. Start now at ProfitX. It was a wonderful week 1, but I already got my mind and eyes focused on week 2. And one of the plays that I really like, one of the things I really like, is the Eagles at the Chiefs, right? Super Bowl rematch. A lot of people are thinking Chiefs 0-1. They're going to need this. They're going to go out and get it. But the truth is, the Eagles are -1 point favorites. -1 point favorites on the road. Yeah, if the Eagles win this game, which I think they're going to do, it's going to be by more than 1 point. So I love the Eagles for this ProfitX play. And if you like it too, you could go to ProfitX right now and sign up and get $200 in profit cash. Just use promo code Philly500 and get $200 in profit cash available in 40 states. All you got to do is use Philly500. Shout out Profit X. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.